I was blind. Sarah, my youngest daughter, was the one person I thought would never hurt me. But last week, when I stood in front of the judge watching her being led away in handcuffs, I realized I'd been wrong about so many things. Let me back up. It started 3 months ago, on a Tuesday morning. I was at my bakery, Sweet Memories, the little shop my late husband David and I opened 40 years ago. David passed 5 years back, and since then, running the bakery had been my lifeline. The smell of fresh bread, the regular customers, the rhythm of kneading dough at 4 a.m., it kept me going. That morning, my banker Margaret called. She never called unless something was wrong. "Helen, we need to talk about the loan application." I froze, my hands still covered in flour. "What loan application?" There was a pause. "The one you submitted last month, for $85,000. My stomach dropped. I hadn't submitted any loan application. But Margaret was reading off my social security number, my business tax ID, my signature. Everything matched. "Margaret, I didn't apply for any loan." Another pause, longer this time. "Helen, you need to come in. Now." At the bank, Margaret showed me the paperwork. My signature was perfect. Too perfect. I'd seen that signature before, on birthday cards Sarah had signed for me when David got too sick to write. She'd practiced my handwriting to help him, and I'd thought it was sweet. The loan had been approved 2 weeks ago. The money was already gone, transferred to an account I'd never opened, an account in my name at a different bank across town. I called Sarah immediately. It went to voicemail. I called again, and again. Finally, around dinner time, she answered. "Mom, I can't talk right now. I'm busy." "Sarah, we need to discuss something important. About the bank." Silence. Then, "I don't know what you're talking about." Click. She'd hung up on me. I sat in my car outside the bank for an hour, trying to understand. Sarah was 32, my baby. After David died, she'd been so supportive, helping with the bakery, staying over on bad nights, holding my hand at the lawyer's office when we settled the estate. My older daughter, Rebecca, lived 2 hours away with her family. She'd wanted me to sell the bakery, move closer to them, but I couldn't. This place was David and me. Our dream. Sarah understood. Or so I thought. That night, I called Rebecca. Told her everything. She was quiet for a long moment. "Mom, I need to tell you something. Sarah called me last month asking about your financial situation. She wanted to know about the bakery's value, your savings, everything. I thought she was just worried about you." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I thought—" Rebecca's voice cracked. "I thought she was trying to help. I'm so sorry, Mom." The next morning, I went to my bakery at 3 a.m. like always. But something was off. The back door lock was scratched, like someone had tried to pick it. Inside, my office had been searched. Papers everywhere, drawers open, my filing cabinet forced. Nothing valuable was missing, but my business documents were gone. Tax returns, supplier contracts, customer lists, everything you'd need to. What? Sell my business? Take out more loans? I called the police. Officer Martinez came, took pictures, filed a report, but he was honest with me. "Mrs. Chen, this is tricky. She's your daughter. She had access to these documents legally, unless we can prove intent to defraud. She stole $85,000 using my identity. Did she? Or did you give her permission and forget?" He looked uncomfortable. "I'm not saying you did, but that's what a lawyer will argue. You're 63, you just lost your husband. You run a business alone. They'll say you're confused." I wasn't confused. I was furious. Over the next week, I learned the full extent of what Sarah had done. She'd opened 3 credit cards in my name, maxed them out, bought a car, designer clothes, paid for a vacation to Hawaii with her boyfriend. The boyfriend I'd never met because she said he was camera shy. She'd also told people around town that I was getting senile, that she was helping manage my affairs. My suppliers started calling her instead of me. My landlord sent rent notices to her email, not mine. She was systematically erasing me from my own life. Rebecca drove up that weekend. We sat in my small apartment above the bakery, drinking tea, trying to make sense of it. "When did she change?" Rebecca asked. "She used to be so sweet." I thought about it, really thought about it, and I realized Sarah had always been like this. I just hadn't wanted to see it. When she was 16, money went missing from my purse. I blamed myself for being careless. When she was 20, she totaled David's car and lied about how it happened. We believed her story about the other driver. When she was 25, she borrowed $5,000 for nursing school that she never attended. Every time, I made excuses. She was young. She made mistakes. She'd learn, but she never learned. She just got better at lying. Do you remember what Dad said? Rebecca's voice was soft. 2 years before he died? I did remember. David had taken me aside after Sarah asked for money again. He'd looked at me with those tired eyes and said, "Helen, love isn't the same as enabling. You're not helping her. You're teaching her she can get away with anything." I'd been so angry at him, told him he was being harsh, that Sarah needed support, not judgment. Now I understood. He'd seen what I refused to see. The next Monday, I met with a lawyer. Angela Martinez, Officer Martinez's sister, ironically. She was sharp, professional, and didn't sugarcoat things. "You have a case for identity theft, fraud, and elder abuse," she said. "But prosecution will be hard. She's your daughter. Juries sympathize. And if she cries on the stand and talks about how she was just trying to help her aging mother, so she gets away with it?" Angela leaned forward. "I didn't say that. I said prosecution will be hard, but we can pursue civil charges, freeze her assets, get restitution. It won't be fast, and it won't be pretty, but we can do it. How long? 6 months minimum. Maybe a year." I couldn't wait a year. The bakery was hemorrhaging money. The credit card companies were calling me daily. The loan payments were destroying my savings. That week, Sarah finally showed up. Just walked into my bakery on a Thursday afternoon, smiled at customers like nothing was wrong, came into my office. "Mom, we need to talk." I stared at her. She looked good. New haircut, expensive purse, designer sunglasses perched on her head. "I know you're upset," she started. "But you have to understand. I did this for us. For the bakery. For your future. You stole $85,000. I borrowed it, using our family's credit. It's not stealing when it's family, Mom. Our family's credit. Like she had any right to it. Where's the money, Sarah?" She waved her hand dismissively. "Investments. I'm working on something big. Real estate. When it pays off, I'll pay everything back. Plus interest. You'll thank me. I want the money back now." Her smile faded. "I don't have it right now. But I will. You just have to trust me. Get out." "Mom, get out of my bakery. Don't come back." She stood up, and for just a second, I saw something cold in her eyes. Then the mask came back. "Fine, but when you're struggling to pay bills and losing this place, don't come crying to me." She left, took a box of my most expensive pastries on the way out. Didn't pay. Rebecca called that night. She called me, crying, saying you kicked her out, that you're being unreasonable, that she was only trying to help. Do you believe her? No. Rebecca's voice was firm. "I believe you, and I'm coming up this weekend. We're going to fix this." That weekend, Rebecca and I went through everything. Bank statements, credit reports, loan documents. The damage was worse than I thought. Sarah had also forged my signature on a second mortgage application for the bakery property. It hadn't been approved yet, but it was pending. "If this goes through," Rebecca said quietly, "you could lose everything." We called Angela. Emergency meeting. She brought in a financial forensics expert, someone who specialized in identity theft cases. What they found was stunning. Sarah had been planning this for over a year. Small withdrawals from my accounts, testing if I'd notice. Slowly gathering my documents. Building relationships with my suppliers, positioning herself as my helper. Creating a paper trail that showed me as increasingly dependent on her. "She's smart," the expert said. "Most identity thieves are opportunistic. She was strategic." Angela nodded. "We have enough for criminal charges. But Helen, you need to decide. This is your daughter. If we pursue this, she will go to jail." I thought about David. About what he would say. I thought about the bakery, 40 years of our lives. I thought about Rebecca, the daughter who stayed true. And I thought about Sarah, who chose greed over love. Do it. The next week, Angela filed criminal charges. Fraud, identity theft, elder financial abuse. The DA's office picked it up immediately. Apparently, they'd been watching Sarah for a while. 2 other elderly people in town had reported similar schemes, but couldn't prove who did it. Sarah was the common thread. When the police went to arrest her, she was gone. Boyfriend, car, money, all gone. She'd run. For 3 weeks, I didn't know where she was. The bakery struggled. I couldn't focus. Customers noticed. Sales dropped. Then, 2 days before Thanksgiving, Rebecca called. She reached out to me. On Facebook. She wants to come home for Thanksgiving. Says she misses us, misses you. Wants to apologize. My heart jumped. Maybe she did want to apologize. Maybe she realized, Mom, don't. Rebecca's voice was sharp. She's testing you. Seeing if you'll drop the charges. If you let her come home, she'll disappear again the moment you don't give her what she wants. I knew Rebecca was right. But part of me, the mother part, wanted to believe Sarah could change. I called Angela. Told her about the message. She was quiet for a moment. Then, do you want to end this? Yes. Then invite her to Thanksgiving. At your place. Tell her you want to talk, just family. No pressure. And then what? Then we'll be there waiting. Thanksgiving morning, I cooked. Turkey, stuffing, David's mother's pumpkin pie recipe. I set the table for 4. Me, Rebecca, Sarah, and 1 extra. Sarah arrived at 2 p.m. She looked thinner, nervous, kept checking her phone. Mom. She hugged me, and I let her. I'm so sorry. For everything. I made mistakes, but I'm ready to make it right. We sat down. Just the 3 of us at first. Rebecca was cold, barely speaking. Sarah kept trying to charm us, talking about her investments, how they were about to pay off, how she'd pay back every penny. I just need a little more time. Maybe we could work out a payment plan? You could drop those charges, and I'll... The doorbell rang. Sarah froze. Who's that? I stood up. I invited someone else to join us. I opened the door. Angela walked in, followed by Officer Martinez and another deputy. Sarah's face went white. She stood up so fast her chair fell over. Mom, what is this? This is accountability, I said quietly. Angela stepped forward. Sarah Chen, you're under arrest for identity theft, fraud, and elder financial abuse. Mom, please. Sarah's voice was panicked now. I'm your daughter. You can't do this. Officer Martinez moved behind her, handcuffs out. Ma'am, you have the right to remain silent. Mom, I looked at my youngest daughter. Really looked at her. And I saw a stranger. Someone who'd taken my love and twisted it into a weapon. I love you, Sarah. But I can't save you from yourself anymore. Your father tried to tell me that, and I wouldn't listen. I won't make that mistake again. They let her out. She screamed the whole way, crying, begging, threatening. When the door closed, the silence was deafening. Rebecca put her arm around me. You did the right thing. I nodded. But I wasn't sure. How could this be right? She was my baby. The trial happened fast. Sarah's lawyer tried the confused elderly mother defense, but the evidence was overwhelming. Bank records, forged signatures, testimony from the other victims. The jury took 2 hours to convict. She got 4 years. With good behavior, maybe 2. I didn't go to the sentencing. Rebecca went, told me, Sarah cried, said I'd betrayed her, that she'd never forgive me. Maybe she wouldn't. But I could live with that. What I couldn't live with was enabling her to destroy herself and everyone around her. The bakery is doing better now. I restructured my debt, worked out payment plans. It's tight, but I'll make it. Rebecca visits every weekend. Her kids, my grandchildren, help out on Saturdays. I think about Sarah every day. Wonder if she's okay, if she's learning anything, if she'll ever understand why I did this. I also think about David. About all the times he tried to tell me that love sometimes means letting people face consequences. I wish I'd listened sooner. Maybe things would have been different. But maybe not. Sarah made her choices, and I made mine. Yesterday, I got a letter from her. From prison. 3 pages of anger, accusations, playing victim, but at the very end, just 1 sentence. I don't understand why you didn't just help me. I wrote back. 1 sentence. I did help you. I helped you learn that actions have consequences. That's what parents are supposed to do. I don't know if she'll get it. Maybe she never will. But I know I did the right thing. For her, for me, for the memory of the man who built this bakery with me and tried to teach me that love isn't the same as letting someone walk all over you. Sweet Memories is still standing. I'm still here. And that's enough.